Hello, colleagues. This is Mike Weigold. Thank you for affording me the chance to talk with you this morning. I'm sorry that my teaching schedule conflicts with your meeting time, and I can't be with you. There are some important initiatives that I think are very important for the college, and the administration believes so as well. And I'd like to share those with you, and I hope get your support for these two initiatives as they're I think very crucial to our short-term and long-term future. So the first initiative that I want to talk about is increasing the number of in-college electives that are required by each of our departments in the college. So this follows from some changes that have recently been passed by ACEJMC. The two notable changes that have been announced recently are, first, that students will now be allowed to take up to 6 credits of internship in their majors rather than the previous 3. So that's an increase of 3 credits. Good news for many of our majors. But more importantly, for what I'm discussing with you this morning, is that there will be a reduction in the number of required outside credits for degrees from 80 credits to 72 credits. So ACEJMC is now only requiring that our degrees mandate 72 credits outside the college. In essence, this means at a minimum each department could require up to 8 additional in-college elective credits, and possibly more. It depends to a certain degree on the specifics of each major, but at a minimum we can require at least 8 more inside the college. And so my proposal is to take advantage of this opportunity and to ask each department to increase the number of in-college electives by at least 8, and again, more where possible and desirable. Now, this can be accomplished just by converting what are now listed as outside elective classes in our degree plans and making those outside college electives into inside college electives or in-college electives. Now, I want to make clear that doing so will not affect our outside concentration requirement, our language requirement, or our quantitative option. None of those are being affected by this. This is just a matter of requiring that students now take more classes in their majors rather than as sort of just free classes outside of their outside the college. So why do this? Well, of course, I think you're all familiar with the mandates of RCM. Doing this will increase student credit hours for our college. It will have a potentially huge impact on the student credit hours in our college, because right now we're mandating that our students take classes outside the college. This allows students to take more classes in the college and drives up our SCH numbers. Our students have also been asking for this. This is an increased opportunity for our majors to get more classes, and in many cases interdisciplinary classes, which is of course part of our strategic plan. And best of all, there's no additional resources that are needed for this. We have right now a number of classes with seats available for students in each of the departments, and so this would allow those students to take classes and allow us to fill up seats in classes that have empty ones right now. Okay, should the departments agree with me that this is a desirable course of action, what has to happen? Well, first, each department will have to identify the credits of outside electives that they wish to convert to in-college electives. Second, courses within each department that should be promoted as in-college elective courses should be identified. So, for example, in my home department of advertising, the Department of Advertising may wish to promote ADV 3008, Principles of Advertising, as an in-college elective course for all majors. What that would mean, in essence, is that we would be encouraging majors in public relations, journalism, and telecommunication to take ADV 3008 if they chose, and we would make sure there were seats available for those students. This will also require that each department chair submit a request to the Curriculum and Teaching Committee for our November meeting. We meet in the first week of each month. And finally, upon approval, this will require that the chair submit this to the UCC for the December meeting. Now, the reason I talk about the December meeting is because in order to ensure that that next year's catalog reflects these changes, it has to go in by December. So obviously the timeline for this to happen is this semester, and obviously that's very ambitious. We're nearly halfway through. That said, I think it's fairly easy to simply propose that students be required to take more credits inside the college. We don't have to specify what courses. We just have to specify they take more classes in the college. My second proposal is for a new degree, the first new degree in the college in probably 25 years or more, and this would be an interdisciplinary degree in mass communication. So I'm requesting that each department consider supporting this new interdisciplinary degree. The unique qualities of the degree that I'm describing are these. First, the degree would be constructed from existing classes across all 4 departments. So students would get a broad exposure to mass communication rather than the more narrowly tailored curricula that our departments have now. Second, the classes would be taught exclusively at a distance, and in fact, the classes would, the sections that we would teach in this program would not be available to on-campus students. These are classes that are targeted at students who live and work elsewhere. The reason why we do that is because doing so would allow us to offer this degree off-book. And probably a lot of you know that off-book programs compensate colleges not in terms of SCH, but in terms of direct dollars. And so this program would be an important revenue source moving forward for the college. And finally, the program would involve partnerships with state colleges. So let me elaborate on that. You can see here that this is a website at Santa Fe College, our sister institution across town. They have a page, Gateway to the Gators. Santa Fe promotes itself as a program attractive to students who want to get UF degrees. If you'll look on the right-hand side in the circle area there, you can see UF online degrees. So right now, the colleges of business and health and human performance already have these online degree programs that I've been describing. If we can move on this, we would become the 3rd college to do this. I can tell you that the administration in both colleges has nothing but good things to say about these programs. They, in fact, serve hundreds of students who cannot or would prefer not to come to the UF campus. And so they enroll at Santa Fe for 2 years and then would enroll in this distance program and get a undergraduate degree from the University of Florida for their final 2 years without the need to ever set foot on campus. And this partnership with Santa Fe, I should point out, would just be the start. We could potentially set up similar kinds of partnership arrangements with state and community colleges throughout the state of Florida. There are almost 37 of these programs which could provide students for this degree. Okay, so where would these courses for the degree come from? I know that each one of you is working harder in an era of scarce resources, and so I think this is an important question. Any new initiative, in my view, needs to take account of the resources available. Well, the classes would be drawn from each major, and I propose that we would use existing classes for this degree. That is, we would not create any new classes. However, what we would have to do is to develop distance versions of existing classes. So in my view, the biggest cost is where appropriate, converting an on-campus only class into at least one section that could be taught at a distance. Now, earlier I mentioned that as an off-book program, this would generate revenues. And the administration of the college believes that departments that contribute to this degree program should be rewarded with some of those revenues. So the proposal would be to reward departments in accordance with the number of classes they provided for this degree. There are some other policies that we've been talking about in an effort to support a program of this kind. The administration knows that faculty are very busy, and it's tough to find time to create distance versions of programs. We're hoping to reward faculty who are selected to develop a class with a course release. This would afford the faculty member the time to create a quality distance class, and that's what we're looking for. In terms of departments offering classes to the program, the college believes it's worthwhile to share 50% of revenue after expenses with departments. So when we generate revenue from offering this interdisciplinary degree, the goal is to share some of that revenue with the departments who offer the classes. And to give you a sense of the kind of revenue we're talking about, a single class that enrolls 500 students would generate about $150,000. Now, of course, there are some RCM taxes that come out of that, but after all is said and done, we're still talking a significant revenue that will be important for improving our on-campus programs moving forward, and revenue that can really make a difference in departmental budgets. So, to my way of thinking, this is something that I think is doable and could really help out with a lot of the budgetary issues that we've been dealing with over the past 5 years. Okay, if the departments agree that this is a proposal worth moving forward on, then what they should do is identify the classes they will offer to the degree. They should identify the instructors who, where appropriate, will develop and teach the distance versions of these classes. And we hope to do so in a timeline that would enable this program to be up and running about a year from now. So that too is an ambitious schedule, but I also think that's doable. Okay, so I don't want to take too much of your time this morning, but you may have questions or concerns. Again, this would be easier for me if I were there. I'm not. But please do feel free to contact me individually or as a group. If we can find a time when I'm not teaching to meet, I would be delighted to do that and answer any questions. I'm contacting all of you because you're leaders within the college and within your departments, and I'm hoping that you see the benefits of these two proposals for the college and for your department. Please do discuss with your department chair moving forward. And I thank you very much for your time this morning. I hope these ideas pique your interest and that we can find a way to do some exciting things this year. Thanks again, and thank you to James Babanikos for giving me the opportunity to share this with you. Have a great day.